Hello, Braves country. It's Coach Ken Anderson coming to Hardcore Braves, and I got my main man Ryan. How the heck are you doing tonight?
3 out of 4, Ken. What a freaking way to start the week. 3 out of 4 against the Marlins. I personally didn't think they were going to do it, but they did it, Ken. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. One of the best 50 game starts we've ever had as a franchise, and we'll get into that. We're going to do a little different on the series recap. 4 game set. We're going to kind of go through the games, and then we want to do a where we kind of sit after 50 games because it's kind of a benchmark when you go over a series. We're almost a third way through the season. So let's get to it. Game one, J.R. Ritchie takes on Max Meyer, and Max Meyer just kind of owns us when he's on, and he was on. And to be honest with you, our offense just looks sluggish. I don't know why we look sluggish at the plate, but it does happen. Maybe they went to South Beach. I don't know. I'm just kidding about that. But, they just look sluggish. Offensively, Ryan, anything you can take away in that game other than it was just, one of those games where they just wouldn't kind of own it. Max Meyer did throw the ball well for them.
Yeah, it was a combination of, look, we didn't really hone in our approach against Max. Look, Max has got good stuff, but it wasn't great that night. I think we did a really sloppy job of, swinging at hittable pitches and identifying pitches that we want to swing at. And he took advantage of it. We were chasing a lot of stuff out of the strike zone. We weren't really hunting the baseball up in the strike zone like we should have been because he's going to try to get you to expand below the zone. And there was a lot of pitches like that right there to Michael Harris that the slider that pops out of the hand that we didn't do a great job of attacking. So that was a little bit disappointment on our end. But at the same point in time, offense was kind of struggling, and Max Myers kind of punched us in the mouth. But you know what? Probably a good thing that we got punched in the mouth a little bit, huh, Ken?
Yeah, every once in a while when you're riding high, you need somebody to kind of set you straight. We went on our last big long winning streak. You remember it was the Nationals who punched us, and then we were able to really get on a good roll. So maybe this is what's going to happen here. As far as from the pitching side, Jr. His command's just not there. He's just not quite ready. Everybody can kind of see it. He's done okay, but when you're a team trying to win a World Series, you have to go back to AAA and hone your stuff. If he was pitching for the Colorado Rockies or one of the teams that's in last place, I guarantee you he wouldn't go back to AAA. He's thrown well enough to kind of stay up, but not for a championship type ball club. That's my thoughts on JR. How about you?
100% agree, man. When you're trying to win 100 games, you're trying to win a division, you're trying to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. You can't really have a guy going out there walking 4 or 5 guys every game, pitching 4+ innings and giving up 5+ runs. You just can't really have that. Not saying JR has been that bad because look, I'm not crapping on JR here. I'm just being realistic, right? He has had command issues. He has had trouble late getting deeper into games, and that's kind of when he gets burned a little bit. Is when we try to push him into that fifth, sixth inning. Is when he starts getting a little bit of runs coming across the board. But JR is going to be good. He's got to hone in his command a little bit. He's got good stuff. I mean, the stuff's going to play up here at the big league level. I'm looking forward to seeing how well he develops and the next turnaround he gets because he's going to get another shot up here. There's no question about it. But right now, when we got 5 guys who are giving us a chance to win every single night, there's just no real need to keep him up here right now.
No, there's not. So he gets a little unlucky. We're going to talk about more with Hassan a little bit at shortstop, but Hassan has a play that he probably should have made. And but overall, again, so the game he gets away from him. They're up 7-0, so he decided to bring Aaron Bummer, and we thought this would be a good soft landing spot for him, where all he had to do was just throw strikes against a team that will chase. And I think the Braves thought the same thing. They gave him a soft landing thing, and Aaron couldn't throw strikes because I don't think Aaron believes in his stuff anymore. And then he threw a pitch. He just threw an 89-mile pitch. He wasn't even in the strike zone. He gets hammered for a grand slam, and and the Braves decided to release him. I think it was finally the sign of we know we can't do this because if he can't trust his stuff to throw strikes to a team that will chase, then he no longer can help us. And just like J.R. Ritchie, we're trying to win a championship, and the Braves decided to eat the rest of his contract, $6.5 million of the 9.5. and move on from Aaron Bummer. And everybody sent me texts. So we're going to ask the man, how big of a party did you throw when Aaron Bummer got released?
It was a W in the win column as far as I'm concerned, Ken. And look, I'm not saying Aaron Bummer's a bad person. I'm not saying I hate Aaron Bummer. I got tired of watching Aaron Bummer pitch on my favorite baseball team in Major League Baseball, okay? I don't hate you, Aaron, but my God, you can come join me in a men's league and we can kick it and we can have some beers because that is where you belong right now, my friend. Your stuff is men's league. I have faced pitchers as good as you, if not better, in men's league. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just keeping it a buck 10 with you, Aaron. I was so happy. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I was partying. It was, we lost 12-0, but really I think we won 12-0 with that. Okay, that's where I'm at on that.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most successful series we'll have. It's almost like a sweep, just because on Monday, everything come into kind of fruition to where the Braves knew where they needed to go as far as with their pitchers. Dylan Dodd is coming up and does throw in this series. The one negative that come out of everything to me, because I mean, other than the loss, you don't want to lose games, but sometimes you just you get beat. Was that Drake did suffer a oblique injury, but it's a mild strain, so hopefully he won't be out too long. What's your thoughts on that, Ron?
Well, I'm glad they called it early, and when he came in the dugout a little lame a little bit, that they're just like, hey, let's just get you out of here. Let's get it checked out. They didn't wait around. They didn't see if they could push him. They said, you know what, let's get it checked out. We got a pretty good size lead in the NL East. There's no reason to push it. And it's a grade one. It's the best that you could have absolutely hoped for. And it should, I mean, it could be anywhere from 20 days to 40 days. It really just depends how well and how long it takes to heal. So hopefully it's not too long for Drake because we need Drake in the lineup.
Yeah, somebody asked me how long he'd be out. I said minimum 3, and him being a catcher, it'd probably be more along the lines of 4 to 5 weeks, just because they're going to make sure because let's do all that twisting and turning back there. All right, so let's get to game 2. Mr. Martin Perez, who may be the best fifth starter in MLB, takes the mound. A little bit of a rough issue. We score 2, they score 3. Looks like it's going to be a shootout. But Martin Perez threw the ball well. He has 10 Ks, which was a career record for Martin. Flat out, he's just a good fifth starter, and the Braves are very lucky to have him. I know we've talked about that, but Ryan, what do you think about his outing Tuesday?
He was good. I mean, he got a little roughed up there in the first inning. I was like, oh boy, this is not a good start. But he righted the ship, right? He gave up 3 early, but he was able to go out there and I think, give you 5 or 6 innings. And he struck out 10. He saved the bullpen as much as he could. He gave your offense a chance to come back and win against a pitcher that we should have done some damage against. And the Braves came through. So, I mean, really good start by Perez. He continues to eat up innings. He continues to give you a chance to win every fifth day. And as a number 5 starter, that's all you can ask for.
Exactly. And, Ronald Acuna also come back in the lineup, and I thought Ronnie ran really well. I think there's no signs of anything lingering, and he just looks healthy, running around the ballpark. And matter of fact, he ran so healthy. Eventually, they said he was going to DH the whole series. He actually placed the outfield in the next 2 games, but Ronnie looked healthy running, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked really well, and I think the healthiest sign was him beating out an infield ground ball at game 4 today. So Ronald looks really good, healthy, but we'll talk about the other thing later on in the recap.
Yeah. The other thing that happened is Michael Harris is coming in his own. He hits a home run. Matt has a good game. He has 3 RBIs. Offensively, it was just a solid game up and down the lineup. I want to say that 7 of the 9 or 8 of the 9 had hits in the game. I know the one guy who didn't have was Yaz in the game. I mean, not Yaz, but Dubon in the game, and they ended up finally giving him a day off. But overall, the offense was really good. Michael is really coming into his own, and Matt had 3 RBIs. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the offense was really good. Michael Harris had an absolutely fantastic series down in Miami. Probably in my opinion, might be the series MVP because he was just that good. If you look at his stats at the end of the series, he had big hits up and down throughout the series. He was in the middle of everything. He was getting on base. He was driving in runs. He was scoring runs. He was just the catalyst that the Braves needed this series. He did a really good job. Even when the middle bats were kind of cold at times, Michael was pretty much the one consistent that we had the entire series.
Yeah, there was a big debate on the next topic, and we'll move on to Game 3. Ha-Seong Kim kind of struggling a little bit defensively, and people trying to say well the single error on these plays. The fact of the matter is when you're struggling at the plate and Ha-Seong wants to contribute. Yeah, remember he's missed a lot of games. I think a little bit of pressing. What I did like though is after the first two games where he looked like he was pressing defensively, he made really nice plays. I think the Braves winning will get him calmed down and he'll help the ball team. His at bats in Game 4 were a lot better, and I think that Hassan will be okay. But you could tell he was pressing a little bit, even defensively, with his struggles at play, couldn't you, Ryan?
Yeah, but I think everybody on Braves Twitter forgets that this guy got injured in what, like late December, January, right? Somewhere around there. And so he missed half an off season. He had half an off season where he couldn't really work out. He couldn't do anything. He missed an entire spring training where he wasn't doing his infield work. He was not doing his hitting. He was sitting and rehabbing the entire spring training. So you miss all that time, and then you expect this guy to come back in and be a perennial all-star type player. It's just a little bit ridiculous, and I think it's a little bit uncalled for what everybody's saying about him on Twitter. He's a good player. I'm not saying he is a all-star by any means, but Ha-Seong Kim has put up pretty solid, career stats as a shortstop in the big league. So I think a lot of that stuff needs to calm down a little bit for Ha-Seong. It's very unfair for him. He hasn't, like I said, spring training hasn't had it. This is really his spring training. He didn't have a full off season, so hopefully that Braves Twitter realizes that and gives him a little bit of a break because he did play a lot better later in the series after he got a day off. He played a lot better.
Yeah, I think overall they were pretty fair. I think any tack you want to take with him, but the thing is just to remember he's early in this season for him, so he'll get there. So Game 3 was the game that we thought was the most winnable, and that was the most winnable. We won 9-1. Chris Sale brilliant again, 7 innings, 8 strikeouts. They got 4 singles. He was tremendous offensively. Riley got us off to a good start. Austin did not miss his pitch. He had a dead center. That's a big ballpark in center field. He cleared it easily for a 3-run homer. We never look back. Dom hits a home run. Dom hits another ball, and hopefully I haven't got a chance to check. They should change that from an error to a triple and then an error to score the run because those two guys actually just crashed into each other. And be honest with you, the center fielder, God bless him, he almost held onto the ball out there when he got hit, we're going to say, in the lower region to keep it clean on here. And if that scorekeeper, that'll go out there and let him get kicked in the lower region and see if he can hold on to a baseball. So overall, the offense was brilliant. Harris again was good, and like you said, we'll get into the MVP talk. He was 2 for 5. It was just almost a perfect game. Medeiros comes in, gives us 2 innings, and he gets sent down for Carrasco, but looks like a guy that maybe can come up and need some innings for us. It was definitely the best clean game that we played in a while, and it just looked like a championship ball club, Ryan.
Yeah, Game 3 was really good. I mean, pitching was solid. Chris Sale goes out there and gives up what, 1 run over 6, 7 innings. I mean, what more could you ask for out of Sale? Bullpen comes in, just absolutely nails the offense. Not only scored, but they kept scoring. They kept adding on. Dom Smith actually did get a triple credited to him.
Yeah.
They did correct that. It was a really good game. And by the way, I'm gonna there was a specific at bat in this game that was really, really fun to watch. That was really, really fun to watch. 12 pitch at bat for Dom Smith, and then he hits it. What is it? Right center field for a 3-run bomb that really kind of put the game out of reach. That was clinical hitting right there. That was probably my favorite part of the series, Ken.
Yeah, they're playing that video on MLB and even on all the other places across the country. It's one of the most perfect at bats you've ever seen a guy. And you could see Jansen Junk look just puzzled by all that because he gave him everything he had. It was just a brilliant outing by our Braves. So then we had a chance. We now had made sure we hadn't lost the series, but one that we lost to the Mariners, and we clinched that again. So now we go to Game 4. And by the way, that's a great catch by Michael Harris. Came through. Michael's feeling really good about himself if you're watching on YouTube. But Game 4, we get Spencer against Alcantara, Alcantara, wherever what part of the country you're from. And we started a new segment, Breakfast Braves, where we're going to give you the daily up looking into the game. And we talked about that the guys who hit Sandy are Acuna, Ozzy, Michael, and Yaz. And guess what those four did? They had big games. Harris hit a 2-run homer in the first to get us going. He had a solo shot in the ninth. Yaz was 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Ronnie got on the base twice. Ozzy got on the base twice. We said it was coming, and they backed us up and just were brilliant against Sandy tonight.
Yeah, most of our guys that weren't named Matt Olson or Austin Riley had a really solid approach against Sandy tonight. I mean, Michael Harris might own Sandy, if we're being honest. I mean, he's had really good numbers. Ronald had really good at bats tonight. Yaz really came through today again. I mean, again, this offense put on another clinic. That after they got punched in the mouth and they got shut out in Game 1 by Max Meyer, they woke up this series and they absolutely went out there, they executed their game plan, and their plan was to absolutely embarrass the starting pitcher every single night. And they did that to a T. They did a great job. They stayed with their game plans. They didn't come off of it because they didn't have to. They didn't have to deviate. And do you see what the results when these guys are really locked in and staying with game plans, Ken?
Those four, after tonight, I did the numbers, have an OPS of 940 against him combined. And the lowest being Yaz, who has an 830 OPS. So they're tremendous. So they had a big night, and there's always going to be guys you can't see, and so Riley and Olsen got on the plane, thanked them, and said we'll go to Atlanta and we'll help you carry them. The other thing that happened in this game is Mauricio Dubon, who had been kind of a little bit of a slump. They gave him a day off. He gets to come in and pinch hit for Yaz. That spot in the lineup, by the way, was 4 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Pretty good for your platoon left fielder. And when we went into the season, we were saying how good that platoon left field could be. They pulled it off again. Dubon with a big clutch 2-run single that he stretched into a second on the throw. Yaz and Dubon could be special in left field for us this year.
Yeah, I mean they're turning. Yaz really turning the corners, helping. I
Yeah.
mean we really needed Yaz to get going, and he's really starting to figure it out. Dubon's kind of been just plugging along all year. I mean, he's not the Dubon from Houston, that's for sure. He's really improved his approach at the plate. He's not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's not pool happy. He's really using the entire field, and it's showing. He's been a really good and fun player to watch this year. And left field is going to be good defense, good speed, good offense. I mean, everything that you could want. I have no complaints. I don't think we need an outfielder. I think an outfielder would be a nice addition if we could get one, but I think we're really, really good with Yaz and Dubon.
I do too. And real quick on Spencer Strider, Spencer threw the ball great. I mean, he's learning how to pitch, and they put up the numbers on his off speed. He's given up like 2 hits on his off speed this year. Two. 2 hits, Ryan. I mean, we all want him to throw 98, 99, but he's showing us, you know what, he's a little bit more than that. And, we don't expect Chris Sale to throw 99 because he has an unhittable slider. Maybe Spencer's learning how to be the next Chris Sale where he's got 97 in the tank, but he's really just going to get you out with off speed. He had 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, and only really 2 bad pitches he threw tonight were to Kyle Stowers, who had been struggling. I don't really even don't even bother the 2 pitches. I mean, that's a guy who'd been struggling. It looks like he got out of it a little bit, but Spencer overall tonight was excellent.
Yeah, I think his fastball was down a little bit tonight. I think velo
Well, it
wise,
started.
he
It
had really
started.
good.
It started down Ryan at 93, but he finished at 96, 97 tonight. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It just he still had really good carry of the
Yep.
fastball through the zone, so I think he kind of got shy of it early on, and he started throwing more off speed. So I think Stowers kind of leaned into those a little bit more. But I mean, overall, 9 punch outs, six and a third, three earned. You can't really complain about that. I would like the home run ball not to be as frequent, but I mean, when your offense put up 8+ runs, it didn't really matter. So I mean, he pitched really well. The only complaint I would have against Spencer is just try to limit the long balls, which I'm sure he's already well aware of. But he pitched really well. Good fastball life, good breaking balls, changeup. I think that was the most impressive thing for me tonight was his changeup looked really good too. He's spotting that. He's using that effectively now too. He's becoming a pitcher. He's not a guy who just needs 100 miles an hour with a slider to go out there and be successful.
Exactly. He's really becoming a good pitcher. And if you're watching on YouTube, that first slider that Stowers hit was actually a really good pitch. He hadn't hit it. That's a pitch he'd been swinging over the top of. With that said, they get on the plane. It's a mass unit a little bit from just this game. We'll go through it real quick with probably the one that's worrisome the most at the end. Ozzy gets hit on the shin. I'm sure he's hurting. I'm sure he's got ice bags on that plane getting on there. That had to hurt because Ozzy doesn't show that kind of stuff unless he's really hurt. Hopefully, we won't get some sort of freak thing come out of that. Hassan slid into second wrong. You could tell he knew it, and he caught that ankle, his leg. He grimaced, but he looked like he'd be okay. Austin dies in the ninth inning on his rug burn hand. You could tell that hurt him. Michael had a twist on a center field ball, and you could tell that kind of. So you're going to play through these things, but for some reason, whatever happened to Ronald in this game, he could not play through this, and it's going to be interesting to see going forward. The X-ray come back negative. They say it's a bone bruise. We're just going to leave it at that, but I'm sure Walt's going to try to find out exactly, pain tolerance, that kind of stuff, to see how much he can take. So we'll see what comes out on Friday with these guys. But it's a little bit of mass unit getting on the plane just from one game. Any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, look, you're gonna have stuff that happens over the course of the year that you're just gonna have to play through, and these guys know that, and I think they'll be ready to rock and roll. You're not gonna have God. If we have 5 IL stints come us tomorrow, we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that. I think everybody is gonna be fine, and I think they're gonna be in the lineup and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and real quick, we're not saying anybody's hurt or anything going on IL, but that's the interesting thing is that the Braves do keep things quiet, so we're always a little nervous in Braves country. But you got to remember, this was their 10th game in a row, so this is also a little bit of a tired team. Monday can't get here quick enough, and they have a very favorable June schedule with days off. So if they can get through these next three, the schedule's going to really set up. So with that said, we take 3 out of 4. We're going to start with our play of the series and MVP of the series. What was your play of the series?
Dom Smith's 12 pitch at bat was my play of the series, Ken. I won't be told otherwise. My boy had probably the best at bat in Major League history, and it ended on a freaking bomb to right center field. That is my play of the series.
That's a really good one, and I almost picked that, but then tonight something happened that I wanted to make my play of the series just because I enjoyed it. Because poor Dom's run around the ballpark like crazy, and we decided to hit one in the gap, and Yastrzemski, and he's going to try to score all the way from first base. And Tommy Watkins is trying to get everything he can, and he about fell and busted his ass trying to get him home. And it was kind of amusing. Dom looked tired, Tommy looked tired, and I'm just doing that just kind of be funny. I thought it was funny, and we may have to get on that plane. We might have to have some oxygen for Don Smith because he ran his balls off in this series, and so that's my play of the series. MVP of the series, we could probably say it simultaneously. I'm going to agree with Ryan. We'll let Ryan go ahead and say it why it is, but it's easily this guy. He was the MVP of the series.
Michael Harris the second, man. He was in every single It seemed like every little thing that the Braves were doing positive, it seems like Michael had his hand in this series. 6 for 18, a couple bombs, 7 RBIs, a bunch of runs scored, pretty good defense. Can't ask for much more, Ken. That's my MVP.
Yeah, he's playing so well. You forget that every once in a while he's human. He has last at bat of the night. He swung at a pitch. I don't know what happened. I'm sure he's laughing about that on the plane coming home. It was probably about 5 foot outside. He swung at it, and you can laugh about it when it's 9-1, and you're as hot as Michael is. That just goes to prove you hitting a baseball in the major leagues is very difficult. And he got Michael, but it was funny because on the little, you go to the MLB app, they'll show you where the pitch is. They could hardly have it on the screen. It was so far outside. But good, it's good to have fun like that when you're winning 9-1. So we want to, before we jump into the series against the Nats, this is 51 games, 35 and 16. Monday's Memorial Day. We wanted to do a third recap of the season, every 54 games. That's how the teams look at it, where you sit. Right now, the Braves are 9.5 up on the Philadelphia Phillies, who've kind of kept a step back. And the Phillies are going to start their toughest stretch of the year. They got to go to San Diego and LA and back home against San Diego after playing Cleveland at home. That's a tough stretch, Ryan. We don't have it as even that easy. We got the Nats who give us fits. Boston is starting to play better. Cincinnati always plays us well in Cincinnati. So, we'll see how it breaks down, but this is a chance for us to make hay. But the first 51 games were very successful. Ryan, 35 and 16. We couldn't ask for a better start, could we?
Nah, it's the best start since 2003 in franchise history. I mean, if anybody really wants to complain about it, I don't know what you're complaining about. They're off to a great start. And they're not fully healthy. We're banged up a little bit, but our biggest concern was the pitching staff, and the pitching staff has pitched pretty well. Bullpen is starting to take shape now. The offense has really bounced back after a couple down seasons. The approach looks really good, and some guys have really grown and developed. It's look, and we still got a couple guys that aren't going 100% right now. They're still a little off to a slow start, but I expect them to be where they're supposed to be by the end of the year. It's been a great start, and I expect them to get better because they have not played their best baseball yet, in my opinion, Ken.
No, it's kind of scary. They can be better. And these were the notes that we took just overall. And look, we understand when what your worries are because we know that big evil empire is sitting right behind us. And we know if we can get home field advantage, we can beat that bunch in the playoff and send that bunch home and avoid their three-peat. Let me tell you who else knows that too, and that's Terry McGurk. Terry McGurk, what he sent this week to Braves Country, not look. I think we're going to be the first ones to reach out and say, now look, if Locked On or Hammer does too, we give y'all credit too for picking up on it. But Terry eating money, I don't know when the last guy we ate money was on like this. I think he's given AA the right to say, okay, we're going to go for it, Ryan. We're going to actually go try to win a world championship. And I'm excited to see how AA funds the rest of this team the rest of the year. How about you?
Yeah, it's a really good telling sign because I'm with you. We haven't eaten money like that in quite a long time unless we were able to ship it out in a trade. But the fact that they realize that, well, Bummer's kind of costing us more games than what he's worth, and I mean, it's time to let him go. We can bring up a guy who's going to be probably part of the future for quite some time in Dylan Dodd, and Dylan needs to be up here pitching meaningful innings because we need him. So with him making that decision to let Bummer go, that's a signal to AA's like, this is full send. We're trying to win a World Series. We're trying to put the evil empire out of business for their three-peat, and this is the team to do it. They have the attitude, they have the chemistry, they have the I don't give a bleep who you are. We're trying to beat the absolute living dog shit out of you every single night, and we don't care who you throw against us. We're gonna beat the crap out of you, and that's what it's gonna take to beat the guy. This is what it's gonna take, and this is a really good team. They got really good swag. They got really good confidence. They This is a really good team. They just got to stay healthy, and the fact that ownership seems to be behind these guys, and there's going to be some pieces added at the deadline. I am really looking forward to what we're going to do at the deadline. It's not going to be just one lefty. You're probably going to see a couple lefties in. You're going to see some. You're going to see a little bit of bench depth added. You might see an outfielder come in. They're going to be moving some pieces this deadline. There's no question in my mind.
There's not mine either. I think they're going to do stuff, and the thing is that you have to realize is you can see cleaning up the pitching as he goes. He's been moving things around, seeing what he has. I trust him wholeheartedly. You can see the hitting's going to get better. But the one thing that I notice is the whole organization's like, let's race to 100. I think that the Dodgers, the Padres, the Brewers, all these top teams in the National League thinks whoever gets to 100 wins first will get home field and most likely can be the National League representative in the World Series. And if anybody hasn't paid attention, the National League is way better than the American League this year. Not saying that the American League can't win a world championship, but you're going to like your chances if you come out supporting them. And watch Walt manage every game, as important it is, tells me the organization has had a meeting saying this team can be special and we can win a world championship. Are you seeing the same thing, Ryan?
100%. I mean, you see it with Walt every single game, right? If he thinks he's got a chance to win the game, he's going to go out there and get it. I mean, look, last time that we really punted a game besides the 12-0 loss in game 1 of this series, I can't tell you when the last time we really punted a game. I mean, he's managed every single game to win. Every time it comes up to a situation where Grant or somebody's struggling, he's going to the bullpen. He's trying to get outs quick so he can give his offense a chance to come back in the game. And the offense, it seems like 70 to 80% of the time is coming back and tying the game or taking the lead. It's just they're managing. He's managing the team perfectly. I know it's not perfect, but it's as close to perfect as you can pretty much hope for. He's been pushing all the right buttons. He's been making all the right moves. The guys have absolutely loved playing for him, and I think that's showing on the field. I mean, this is a really good group.
The last one was the Raylo game in Washington, and that was the last time we got beat up. And you go through a whole month, one time a month, you're getting beat up. You're a hell of a baseball team. And the other thing, real quick, is the synergy around the team, the organization, the fan base, the city, the Southeast, even across the country. It sounds like Braves home games, and even in visiting ballparks, you can sense Braves country thinks this is the year we're going to win our third world championship as an Atlanta Brave, and it's exciting. And Ryan gets to take a big part of it. Friday night, as the Nationals come into town, are you pumped about this national team coming in? You get to visit Truist at a high as Braves country is going into this game.
Buddy, I can't wait. I'm taking both the girls to go. My fiance is going. They have never been to a night game at Truist, so they get to see the light shows. They're going to see Friday night fireworks. Please, God, don't let it rain. Please don't let it rain, because they've never experienced that, and it's going to be an awesome atmosphere for them to be a part of. Because I want look, they're not avid baseball fans like me. Like, they like going to the Braves game because it's a really cool atmosphere, and they've only gone during day games. So I can't wait for them to see it at night. They're going to be absolutely excited. It's going to be I hope it's going to be a really fun night, and I hope Bryce Elder shows. I hope we hit a lot of home runs, and I hope it's a really good memory for all of us to share.
I hope so for you too. And for Braves country, it's sellout all weekend. All three games are sellouts. It's going to be massive crowds. The Saturday game and Sunday game are afternoon games, so make sure get to the ballpark early. Real quick on the pitching matchups. Miles Michaelis, yeah, that guy's still alive. He pitches for the Nationals, and he's going to pitch against Bryce Elder. Mr. Jake Irvin gives us fits. We know hit him last time. He gets Grant Holmes. And then Foster Griffin's their best pitcher this year, the most consistent pitcher this year. He throws Sunday against Martin Perez. Good battle of lefties. So, what do you think is going to happen in this series, Rhino?
Sweep. We're sweeping. I don't look. The Nationals do give us fits, but I don't think they have enough for us this series. And I think the Braves outlast them every single game, and they eventually have that big inning where they put 5, 6 runs up. And I think our pitching holds the Nationals at fort. They've been struggling a little bit outside of three of their guys, so I'm looking forward to a really good series from the Atlanta Braves again.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to take 2 out of 3, and if we can somehow get Griffin's pitch up, I think we can sweep this series as well. They got a good offense, so they have really three really good guys. That's kind of similar to the Marlins. We got to let James Wood not beat us. He tried to beat us in Washington. He did beat us in one game, and another close game. We almost got out of there. We're split because of that. So you have us sweeping. Who do you have us carrying us? Who's the MVP going to be of this series?
Well, since you stole my guy on the hip coil, Ken, I'm going Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr. But if Ronald is out for whatever reason, yeah, hopefully his thumb's okay. I'm going big, thick Austin Riley. I think it's going to be a really good series where Austin can really hone in that right center field approach, really get that thing going. But I think Ronald, if he is playing, he's going to have a monster series just because he looks healthy. He's swinging the bat really well, and I think he can pop off for a few home runs this series personally.
Yeah, Michael Harris is my pick, and we had already filmed the hip course. I did steal Ryan's pick. He didn't know I was going to pick it. We don't talk about it, so we always surprise each other. But if I can go a second one too, I think it's going to be Mike Yastrzemski. I think Yastrzemski is going to have a really good series, especially he gets the two games. I think he's going to eat Michael's lunch, him and Michael. So hope they have big games. So that is the National Series. Final thought before we get out of here.
This is a great team. Enjoy it. We don't, as a fan base of any sports team, there's not many seasons that are special where you can just enjoy it. This is one of them. I don't hate you, Braves Twitter. You just annoy me sometimes with all the negativity, and it gets old after a while. So I do love you guys. I appreciate your support on the podcast. I appreciate you guys' interaction on Twitter. Even if I can't reach out, then I try to get back to all you guys. I'm just, busy working a 9 to 5 and trying to spend family time. It's tough juggling everything. So sometimes some things have to get sacrificed, and that's going to be social media sometimes. So, again, love you guys. Thank you for the support. And if you see me at the ballpark, come up and say hi. I'll be more than willing to talk baseball with you in person.
Yeah, same here. I'll be back off the road here, and I'll be there for the when the Blue Jays come to town. I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully Joey Bats ninth can make another trip down. He's a big Braves fan up in Canada. My final thought is we had a drawing, Ryan, for the 4 tickets and a parking pass to Saturday afternoon game. All you had to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're almost at 300 subscribers. Y'all keep trying to get people to subscribe. The more you subscribe, the more you follow us, the more you like and share, the more we can do. We got 4 tickets and a parking pass to Saturday. And of all things, the person who won it was Alicia Fan 13. And I think that's Alicia on Braves Twitter. So I'm going to reach out to her to make sure. It's kind of tricky on YouTube, but I think that's who won it. I'm excited for her. She's a great follower. If you have not followed her, she's a definitely passionate Braves fan. So I hope she has a good time. We're going to give away more stuff as the season goes on. And remember, if we grow like we want to and the Braves are where they're at, we're going to give away playoff tickets too. So make sure you follow us. Tell all your friends to do that. And we do appreciate you. We love you, Braves country. Look, there's all kind of stuff. Our things at Aaron on Deck, at Weaver _ cards, at Lethal Platty, at Andrew Davidson, at Disgusting Homer 27, at Boyd PC 15, Braves Hip Coil, and a Hardcore Braves. We love you, Braves country, and peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.